something you're specifically looking for. Well, let me see what we have.
Hi everybody. How is everybody?
Yeah, and then we'll just discuss that.
Hi Miss Bonnie. It was good to see you today.
Yes. Why don't we do that? Start with
Okay, let's start with that.
What's your questions?
When will we see shipments for that?
So the kits start in January, but your sample is coming.
Good to see everybody jumping on. I know you're probably getting all tired of me. You saw me yesterday, you saw me today. Patrick is back in town, so he'll be back to work tomorrow. So you will see him on live tomorrow. So I'm going to do mystery without him today. So we are going to continue with mystery today. Unfortunately, not with Patrick. So you get to see my stitching today.
Okay, and where do you live?
I am down in our Littleton store.
No, not far at all.
Yeah, it's been
Jeanette, it was nice seeing you this morning.
last one, so if they get hard.
Okay, so we do have a giveaway. Let's go ahead and get the giveaway. Elaine made this apron, the gnome apron. And, oops, it's got the name right on there. I don't know if you saw it already. So this is going to Nancy Rust. So, Miss Nancy, we will put this in the hold area for you. So, never tired of you. Well, I hope not. Hi, Miss Sarah. Okay, so that is the giveaway. Mystery 54. Oh, thank you, Rosie. Aloha, Miss Linda. It was good seeing everybody this morning down in the Littleton store. I have been trying to come down to the Littleton store every Thursday so that I'm here for Show and Tells, so that's kind of fun. Okay, so Mystery 54. We, in the last session on the stitching, Patrick did an excellent job on it, but he made some little flying geese. He made flying geese, and then he made these rectangles with the snowball units on them. And then he made squares with the snowball units on them. So that is what we are going to continue on with. I have not posted the directions, but I will do as soon as we are finished here today. So I will get those posted on. We do have a manager special today. So we have, this is an older one, but this is a zipper bag. It's got the Baby Lock logo. It has the nice long strap, and it's got a nice big compartment with a zipper panel in there. It's got a pocket right on here. It's got a smaller pocket right around the front. And let's see if we can open that up. So these initially were $59.99, and I have just one to offer at $10. So anybody that wants this, it will be the first comment that I see. I will announce it on here if I see somebody that wants that. And that is going to go to Karen Martin. So Karen, we will go ahead and get that taken care of for you. The other thing that we do have today, and I did put these up online, so if you shop online, Cindy, unfortunately Karen Martin was the first comment that came through that I saw on the bag. So if you were at our anniversary event this last weekend, we in the embroidery room did some stitching with Isacord white thread, and we are selling these at half price. So instead of $6.49, they will be $3.25. You can put a comment on here and ask for a spool, or you can go online and order them online. There are, it sounds kind of crazy, but there are 3 shades of white that are available. So if you order more than 1 spool, we will do our best to get you the different shades of white. So we will get the different shades of white if you order more than 1 spool. But anyway, and they hardly got used. As you can see right there, they really have not had a whole lot of thread taken off them. So 3 different spools. If you don't care, if you order 3, we'll try and get 3 different ones for you, but a great price to stock up on some white thread. Okay, let's get stitching. So I do have a couple of other things to show you also, but we'll go ahead and we'll get stitching to start with. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do, remember we have all of our little baggies and we should have them all labeled. So the first thing we are going to do is we are going to take our gray K squares, and don't drop them on the floor. So we're going to do our our gray K squares and our tan F squares. And then we are going to draw a line. Whoops, I thought I was ready. And guess what I didn't bring over here? 1 second, everybody.
Okay, let's take care of your data first.
Sorry about that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to turn the camera around. And we are going to draw a line on the back of 1 color. Doesn't matter which color, just one of the colors. And we're going to draw a line on the vertical. So we're going to draw a line on the back side of one of the colors, and then we are going to place this right sides together with the gray, and then you are going to stitch 1/4 of an inch from the drawn line. Please be safe, Miss Betty. So we're going to stitch 1/4 of an inch from the line, and you will actually have 8 of these units. I actually did 4 earlier. And when I do this type of piecing, I do sew a scant 1/4 of an inch. So right sides together, draw a line on one diagonal, and stitch along one side. I'm then going to go ahead and cut these apart. And now I'm going to rotate and I'm going to stitch the opposite side. I did put a darker thread in so you could see the stitching a little bit on that. So now I'm going to stitch on the other side of the drawn line. I move my needle position over one position when I'm doing a scant. And then I'm going to trim these. And then I will cut directly on the drawn line. So you can cut this with scissors or you can cut it with the rotary cutter. I'm going to cut it with the rotary cutter because I've got, oh no, here's a good pair of scissors. I had a little curved scissors and it doesn't make it very easy. So I'm just going to trim this on the drawn line. You can do it with a rotary cutter or scissors. It's entirely up to you. And then you want to press your seam allowances all to the same side. This fabric is kind of two mediums, so you really don't have a light and a dark, but if you have a light and dark, always press to the dark. And I'm using my handy dandy Oliso iron. And you are going to have 16 of these units. I have got 12 here right now. No, I don't. I'm lying. I have 8 right now. But you will have 16. Okay. So we have 16 of these units. I will get the price for you here in just a moment, Marie. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to square up these units to a 2.5 inch square. So I am going to put my 45-degree line on my ruler along the sewn seam line. And I'm going to cut 2 sides, and then I'm going to rotate and then cut off the other 2 sides. Elaine? Really quickly, can you get me the price on the small Oliso irons? Okay, I did not bring over the rotating mat, but if you have a rotating mat, now is the time to use it. So these are being trimmed down to a 2.5 inch square. The big thing that you want to watch for is that your seams are still at the corners on both opposite ends.
So the solid color ones are 110, and the two-liner one is 114.
Okay, so before the discount, they are 110. For the solid color ones, there's also a Tula Pink one that is $4 more expensive. So the Tula Pink one is 114. So remember, you are going to end up with 16 of these units. So if you're asking questions, I will be able to see the questions here in just a minute once I have finished squaring these up. The squaring up is extremely important. Your blocks will not go together like planned if you don't square them up. Okay, last one. Okay, let's scoot you back to the machine. Okay, so here are our 16 units. I'm just going to make sure I didn't get any questions. Let's see. Thank you, Laura. And I thought I don't have anybody to ask right at the moment. But I thought I had done that, so I will check into that for you. I actually had a fabric appointment with our Riley Blake rep this afternoon, and he actually came an hour early. So Elaine is actually sitting with him. So if anyone has any questions for Riley Blake stuff, let me know, because we have the know-how here today. So that's why I'm doing this on my own. So the next bag will not be the side hustle, but you're not the first person to ask, Laura. So yes, one of us will do the side hustle here in the upcoming months. The pattern isn't getting released until the very end of November. And the next by Annie is the Diddy bag that I'm going to be doing. I haven't seen one go down to a 2-inch, Patty. By the way, I did email you this morning. I don't know if you got my message. Okay, so here we are. We have 16 of these units. Next, what we are going to do, Jolie, the totes that we showed you on the product launch, the auto ship is actually tomorrow. So I had to confirm with Kimberbell 2 days ago our numbers on the auto ship. So the auto ship should be here probably midweek. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we are going to get our C squares. And our C squares are the little gingham gray and white check with the print on it. So we're going to get these. We need our C squares and we need our G10 squares. So here is the G10 squares. So I'm going to take those out too. And here is how we are going to put these together. We are going to put the gingham in the top right corner. We are going to take a half square triangle with the gray to the center. And then we are going to take another half square with the gray rotated around to the center. And then we are going to take a tan square in the bottom left. So this is what it's going to look like. And you are going to make 4 of these units. I made 2 earlier, so I'm going to make 2 right now. And I've taken it back from my scant 1/4 inch to my regular 1/4 inch. Okay, so I just stitched both of these blocks at the same time. So my top row, I'm going to press my seam allowance one way, and my bottom row, I'm going to press the opposite way. Okay, now we're going to stitch the top part to the bottom part. And if you like to use fork pins, if Patrick was here, that is exactly what we would be doing right now. I would be putting a fork pin in right here. And then we're going to do the same with the other unit. And you will make 4 of these units. And then we're going to press these. So I'm going to go ahead and press these. Okay, and then I'm going to grab the 2 I made earlier, maybe, and so you will make a total of 4 of these units. Okay, we're going to move on to the next part. Next up, we are going to take our B for boy rectangles. And our B rectangles are that same gray and white print, but now they are rectangles. And we are going to take a half square triangle that we made, and we're going to stitch 1 to the left, and we're going to stitch 1 to the right. And I've got, you're going to make 4 of these. I'm making 2, and then I've already got 2 made. Okay, so this is a 2-part unit. This is going to be the top row. Now we're going to work on the bottom row. And the bottom row is going to be a tan 2.5 inch square. It is going to be a flying geese unit that we made in part 1. Remember, I'm making 2 of those, so I like to stack mine when I'm doing that. And then I need 2 more of these on the right. Okay, kind of got like half a block, right? Okay, so let's stitch these together. Patrick went to Florida. For a few days.
I don't know. I mean, most of the time
So I'm stitching all the right side seams first of all. And then I'm going to flip these around, and then I'm going to stitch along the other edge. Okay, and then I'm going to separate these. Okay, so remember we had one unit with the flying geese and then one unit with the checker on it, and it is going to go together just like that. But I'm going to press these first of all. Whoops. Okay, so I press those opposite. Make sure you put them back in the right direction. We're going to put right sides together, and then we're going to stitch along the one seam. And again, our seams should butt right up to each other. This one's really a pretty one. I like this one. I hope you all like it. And then I'm going to do this one. Okay, so would you like another runner, or is it time for a topper? Let me know your opinion on that. A runner or a topper? Okay, we are going to clip this, and then I'm going to press these. Love the steam on this little iron. Okay. So here is the 2 units that I made. Here's the 2 I made earlier. So now you have 4 of these units. Okay, we do have one more unit we're gonna make, but I'm going to take you on a quick little field trip. So like I told you, I'm down here in Littleton today. And one of the customers here at the Littleton store brought in a show and tell this morning that is absolutely amazing, and she made it from one of our panels. So I wanted to show it to you. So you know, when you buy a panel like this, you're like, okay, what can I do? I'll cut this out. I can make a placemat, which she did. These are the placemats that she made with the panel. But look what else she made. She actually made 2 runners out of the one panel. So each one of these runners takes 3 of the blocks. So you'll see that she put the wording in the center block.
This one's fun. This is
And then she just did some pieced units in between them to adjoin them. So on the runner, she's got like a pieced unit here, and then one between each one of the blocks, and then one on the end. She didn't do anything around the outer edge because it's really kind of a good width already. And then she did the double binding. See how she did the double fold binding on there? Didn't she do a beautiful job? So she just used 3 panels. So we do have this panel still available. So this panel comes just like this. Okay, so the panel is 2/3 of a yard. It has 6 blocks on it, and it is $7.90. Now this is not online. So if anybody wants the panel, you will need to comment on here for the panel. And then we do have 2 of the coordinates that go with this panel. We do have those available by the yard. So the top one is the one that she used for her binding. It's a really pretty Christmas print. So you can see it right here on the binding there. She used it, and then she poured a solid color in to do that trim. But anyway, we have fabric number 1, which is one of the coordinates, and then fabric number 2 is this little holly print. So if anybody is wanting either of the 2 coordinates, you can just let us know. It is a Paulette project, and she was so sweet and let us keep it so we could show it today on live. So thank you, Paulette, if you are watching. I think she must have purchased 2 panels, because with the other panel, she cut it up, and then she made the 6 placemats that go with it. And for the placemats, what she did was she did squares, and then she just did a larger border right down the side. But this is a great way to use up a lot of your Christmas scraps too. Oh, this one's different. So this one she did pieced on both sides. So she really did. And then this one's all pieced on one side. See, she just thinks outside of the box, does this young lady. But she did a beautiful job. Okay, so the panel is $7.90, and then each of the coordinates you can order by the yard. Number 1 is the larger print, and number 2 is the smaller one. It would make a great live. I'll let Elaine know, Nancy. I will let Elaine know. She's in the back corner over there. Wave, Elaine. Wave, Mr. Riley Blake. So the other thing that we were going to show you today is 2 brand new AccuQuilt dies. So this is, we got 2 new AccuQuilt dies. And scrappy binding, we've never done a live on it, but scrappy binding is something that a lot of people are starting to do that. So the scrappy binding is 2.5-inch cut, and it is pre-cut with all of the angles for you, so that you get all different lengths of the scrappy on there. Do you know how much that one is off the top of your head?
$129.99.
And they both the same price?
The same price.
Okay.
Yes.
And then the other one is flange.
So exactly what Paulette just made.
I just
on
thought
there.
about that.
Yeah.
So cool.
So I had to come over.
Yeah. So
Yep.
Paulette put that flange in there. And obviously you don't need to use a die to cut that, but it sure does help to.
Well, the nice thing about this die, though, is it's got different sizes, too.
Uh-huh.
So it does have the two different sizes of flange, but you can also just use it as strips.
But even if you're
there's-
not using it, and that one's on an extra discount. But even if you're not using it for flange binding, you can just use it for
for strips.
sashing or anything, right?
Yeah, yes, and it's set up like all the strip dies, so it has all the angle marks on it
Oh,
and
that's
everything.
perfect.
So it's
Perfect.
Yeah, there's a lot of uses for that die.
We might have to do the scrappy binding. That might make a really good
you
live
know,
one day.
I only got it in Tuesday, so
Well, why haven't you done that yet?
I'm just slacking,
Okay.
aren't I?
Back to our mystery. We are almost done for today. Okay, we have our A blocks, and our A blocks look just like this. So this is our big A block, and then we are going to take what is remaining of our flying geese, and we are going to put a flying geese above it, below it, to the left, and to the right. We're then going to take our remaining 10 squares and put those in each of the 4 corners. And you guessed it, now we get a full star. So let's stitch this together really quick. So again, I have put the right sides on. I'm going to rotate this around and then put the left sides on. There is no more kits left for this mystery, Marie. We did run out on this one. Okay, I'm then going to press my center block one way and my top and my bottom the opposite way. So I press this one to the center. So I'm going to press top and bottom to the outside and to the outside. And then I'm going to go ahead and stitch these 3 seams together. Patrick is going to be so sad that he missed all of these seams that he would have needed to have matched up. And the last seam. And then I'm going to go ahead and press this block. Okay, and you are actually going to make 3 of these blocks. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so let's turn this back around so you can see me, and let's do a little recap. So for today, Laurie, thank you for bringing that up. I have not talked about it, but I will talk about it, yes. So for today, you are going to make 4 of these units. You are going to make 4 of these units, which basically is a half block. It's a half star block. And then you are going to make 3 of these blocks. Okay? And then from part 2, you will still have your half blocks and your full blocks that Patrick did. Kind of seeing a rhythm going here. You got some half blocks and some full blocks. Okay. Demo December. So for those of you that don't know what Demo December is a program through Kimberbell where Kimberbell release a free design for you. The design this year, I'm not sure if they have, can anyone tell me if they have seen that out there? I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you what it is yet. So let me know if anyone's seen it. I would appreciate it. But anyway, it's a really cute Christmas design. It is a program that is a dealer program where the design is going to be a free design for you. If I'm remembering correctly, I do believe that we are electronically. I need to double check that. I have not seen it yet. That's what I'm wondering. It's cute. You're all gonna want it. Amy says yes, she's seen it. So if I get 2 other people that tell me yes, they've seen it, I'll talk about it. But I don't want to get my hand slapped from Kimberbell. It's a program whereby they have put the design this year onto. Okay, so it's a house. it's out there, obviously. So it's a really cute little Kimberbell house that they put onto one of their blush totes. Cindy has a really cute surprise for you because she is creating it into a topper that we are going to share with you. So we just decided that putting it onto a blanket is nice, it's great, it works, but let's do something a little bit more fun with it. So we will have a choice. We will have kits with the Kimberbell project, and then we'll also have kits the Above and Beyond Way project. So the design itself has not even been released to the dealers yet, so we haven't been able to sew up our samples. So I do believe it gets released in the next week though, and I know the blanks that Kimberbell are putting it on are in shipment today or tomorrow. You don't need to sign up for it, Roberta, at the moment. Once we have kits and stuff available, then you would be able to order the kit. It is not one that you have to buy the kit to get the design though, okay? So don't feel like you're being swayed into buying a kit. The design is available for everybody, whether they purchase or not purchase. But we're going to try and make it so that you're all going to want one. Hi, June. I heard that your daughter may have got a new machine yesterday. That's exciting. And yes, I'm going to go back over and I will show you the panel one last time here. Let's put this. I'm so dumb. I was like, let me put this in front of the camera so I don't make you all sick. And I realized the camera was on me, not where I was going. So that was funny. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera back around. Appreciate you all joining me. I probably won't turn it back around again. But I do appreciate you all joining me today. And I will go back and look at all of the comments after we have finished going live. But here is the panel right here. So I'll show you up a little bit closer. So it's got a Mary block. It has, I don't even know what, like a jug and a pair and stuff. It's got the bird with the coffee mugs. It's got the joy and another cup with birds. And just in case you missed it, Here is what one of our wonderful customers did, and she left the projects here so we could show it to you today. And like Elaine just pointed out, this has got the flange in there on the binding. I think it just adds a little pop of color on there. And then she also took one of the panels and made a set of 6 placemats. So the panel is 2/3 of a yard. It's $7.90. And then we do have the 2 coordinates that go with this line. Coordinate number 1 is the larger print, and coordinate number 2 is the smaller print. These are not on the website. So if this is something you want, you can either call the store or you can leave a message on here. We could definitely show you how to do that, Marie. Anyway, thanks everybody. I hope Paulette puts it on. I don't know. I can ask her, but... And you could definitely do wall hangings with it. Absolutely. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. Tomorrow, Patrick will be back. I will make sure that he has a joke for you because I failed in the joke department for you today. But if you need a good laugh, go listen to yesterday's joke because I think yesterday's joke was a great one. Anyway, thanks everybody. Bye-bye.